A new dinosaur was discovered last week.
Every week.
What?
I love it.
Dinosaur?
Not every week, but they're
but
always
this one's
finding new
crazy.
dinosaurs. What about it? What's different?
This one is fucking nuts. So
Okay.
Will's going to pull up a picture here. What's fascinating about this dinosaur is, well, there you go.
Oh wow, it's got
What?
those
Oh, my.
shoulder spikes going on, and it dances in the rain. So that's
dances in the
unique,
rain.
too.
Wait a minute.
It's in the rain room at LACMA.
Is this an artist rendering of this thing, or is this?
Of course, it's an
No,
artist rendering.
Yeah. It's an artist rendering, but what's super cool about this dinosaur is that they say that there's nothing in the fossil record anywhere on Earth that has this similar appendage of these, what they're calling ornamental spikes.
Oh wow,
sticking out of the shoulders. Probably not strong enough to be used for like defense or anything predatory. They think that it was most likely similar to a peacock's feathers.
Yep, I
Oh,
could
wow.
see
Some
that.
sort of like, hey, look, I've got the biggest things. I must want to mate with me.
Little sexual selection play. Yeah, I mean, it's really interesting. You have to imagine that, a lot of different species of dinosaur did evolve certain sexual selection traits, right? It's like blue-tongued skinks blue-tailed or five-lined skinks having a blue tail, right? We would never know the color of these dinosaurs. We don't know if those spikes were yellow or if it had a brownish band down the middle. That's all just artists guessing. And my guess, not that I'm a paleontologist, but my guess would be that there was a lot of different sexual selection mechanisms within dinosaurs because, they're basically birds, right? They're old birds. If you've ever watched any Planet Earth, you've seen like the birds of paradise in Papua New Guinea and how they jump around and they flail their feathers and they sing different songs. I'm guessing dinosaurs did a lot of that, and there's no way that we could ever tell from those fossil records what that behavior was. But what we can tell is evolved morphological traits, physical traits like what we're seeing here, which who knows if it had 4 of them, it might have had 40 of them, it might have been a whole veil like a peacock's tail, who knows? But I don't think that this is outrageous by any means, and I certainly believe that it could be for sexual selection. Just who knows what it looked like. There could have been feathers coming off those things. There could have been a membrane attaching them. It could have been like a frilled lizard with the things sticking out. Who knows?
Sorry, go ahead, Pat.
Well, I was going to say, so the fossil that was discovered was so well preserved. I have to insanely, the article doesn't fucking say where this thing was found, but I have to, but it says that there was a decent amount of soft tissue like skin.
Wow.
And then also these structures were preserved. So
Wow.
they were made out of keratin, which I think is pretty much what our fingernails are made out of, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yep.
So this thing, a couple questions here. Artist renderings on these, are these biologists that make things like this?
I don't know.
Typically-
That's a good question. I don't know who takes a fossil and goes, this is what I think it looked like. I don't know. That's a really good question.
It's always been interesting to me because it's like, this is a best guess. And we look at it and we're like, well, this is what this thing looks like. But
Totally.
who the hell knows? And
dude, T-Rexes could have been hot pink. You know what I mean? We'll never know.
Right.
We'll never know. Where
Exactly.
in every Jurassic Park movie, they're dark green or black, right? But they could have been they could have been magenta. Like, we don't know. And we'll never know. That is just a best guess.
Right. And then, even with this artist rendering, like, is this thing small? It looks like it has a beak. Yeah.
It is small.
Like a small
it's like the
bird
size
almost.
of the size of like a dodo bird. So it's like 3 or 4 feet tall.
That's cool.
And it was discovered in Brazil.
Okay.
So I'm assuming southern Brazil, where maybe, are there mountains there where it would be preserved under ice and snow to preserve the skin? It would have to be, right?
In the far south, yeah, there could be.
Yeah.
But
This
there's
thing's cool
tar
looking.
pits. There's a lot of ways. There's mud. There's siltation.
Gotcha.
There's a lot of ways animals or dinosaurs can be preserved. Man, if I could go back, like we all have this talk as kids, right? Like, where would you go? Would you be a knight in the round table? Would you go into the future and fight with lasers? I just want to be a fly on the wall during the Jurassic or Cretaceous period. I just want to see all these things, man. Could you imagine just seeing dinosaurs? Like, oh God, that'd be cool. As a herpetologist, that would be the ultimate.
I mean, it'd be the weirdest thing in the world. I mean, that's why the Jurassic Park franchise is so successful. But that's why, kids play with dinosaur toys for the last 100 years. They're just so fucking fascinating.
They're
It's
so
very
cool.
'Cause they're
imaginative.
huge.
It's a whole other world. It's a whole other world. Yeah.
It's a whole world that has the potential. I mean, that is likely near what reality was, which makes it like interesting, you know, like we're fascinated by other worlds in movies and stuff, science fiction, Star Wars, all this, where they create these worlds. But like this is interesting to me. And I think kids, cause it's like, it's also history.
It's here. It's here.
Exactly.
And now we use it to drive to the grocery store. We're literally using that fucking thing's bone to power our car to go to the grocery store.
That's
like,
nuts.
It's wild, man.
Yeah. Yeah. You're talking
that
about
is
because
weird
oil, Dinosaur Bones is oil. I mean, I only found that out recently because I'm an idiot. You know, I'm a layman.
You should write a book called Dinosaur Bones is Oil. That's what you just said.
Come on. Hey,
Dinosaur Bones is oil.
I'm not a writer or an artist, but this shit looks cool as fuck.
Hey, send us some of your favorite cool animals. It could be dinosaurs. None of us are experts in them. Send us some weird animals. Let's talk about them on here on the dailies. And if you like this video, just give it the old thumbs up and subscribe.
Yeah, drop a comment. We love you. Good night.